How's it going, everybody? My name is Alex. I'm a project management consultant with Echolocity, and today I wanted to talk about how to set up a Smartsheet Requestor dashboard. So I want to talk about what is a Requestor dashboard and why you would use one. And before we get into that, let's just take a minute and look at the workspace that I have set up so you can sort of understand the workflows of this company that I've created to demonstrate the dashboard. So essentially, this company has a lot of different departments that all have requests funneled through a primary queue into the respective teams. So anyone in the organization can open up a request for a number of things, and they may go to IS, IT, they might go to engineering, sustaining dev, the PMO. It depends on the type of request that's being entered through one request form, and then they go into these various queues that I have set up over here. So as a Smartsheet user and someone who creates requests for all of these queues, it would be important for you to be able to track your requests in one location and sort of see things like who owns them, what's the status, how many requests you have open at a given time, how long does it take to resolve your requests, and a way to reach out and get an update on some of these requests, all from one location. So that's really the goal of having a requester dashboard. And in this particular instance, the dashboard that I created starts with a really big link that you can use to open a request. So that's just a link to the request form in that primary queue. And that's a good way of giving your users the ability to open a request from a dashboard that shows them what they actually have open. So they don't open redundant requests, and they also can just see the button to remind them where it even is, and they don't have to bookmark it or try to find the link. And then you can start having fun with it. Pull things like, how many did I open this year or this month? What do I have open right now, and who has them? So my open requests by type would be everything that I have open right now, and the type of request is related to the queue that the request is in. And then open by owner is who it's assigned to. So if you look at this example, the CSM has one of my requests, dev has 6, the PMO has 6, and support has 1. I can see my total number of requests open is. I can see how many are closed. And then just like every other dashboard, I like to put quick links in to get to things like Teams pages, Confluence pages, individual team dashboards that might give you a little more specific information regarding the cases that are being handled by those teams. And then I like to have a more detailed report that breaks it down just by line of what all my open requests are and what all my closed requests are. And I just want to make a note with any dashboard, it's really important to think about what the most important information is and make sure that that can be seen without having to scroll. So when you first jump into this dashboard, you'll see that we've got some of these things that are related to what's open. There's a couple at the top that are just cool to have, but then there's also things like my open requests that will show you every open request. You need to scroll down to get to a little deeper information, but most users want to see what's most important to them right away without having to scroll and try to find other things. So you want to be thinking about what is most important to the majority of your users and how would they like to see their dashboard when they first log in. For things like my open requests, you can look at how many days they've been opened. You can sort them by when you opened them, who has them, the statuses, those sorts of things. Same with closed requests. I also like to look at the time it took to resolve the request. And then you can do something like average out how long it takes those departments to resolve all of their requests. So if you start adding team stats in just below your requests, you can look at what's the average time that it takes to resolve the new project requests. Well, I have a new project request that's open right now, and it's only been open for a day. I've got several of them. They've only been open for a day. So I probably have a little ways to wait if it takes, on average, 37 days to resolve that request, that sort of thing. And then you can use metrics to show things like how many are open for the entire team, how many have been closed by the team across the whole organization. Same goes for the types of requests that are open and which departments have the majority of requests. So if we look at all the requests by department, we can see that it's pretty evenly distributed. And there's no one team that's receiving the majority of the requests. So the form's probably working pretty well to address the needs of each of these teams, and is not being primarily used by one particular team. Last important detail here, when you create something like a Requestor dashboard, or a dashboard that pulls things related to the logged in user or current user, you want to make sure that the widgets that you're using in their own perspective. So just when you go through and add those widgets, that's an important piece. And that's pretty much what you have to do to set up a Requestor dashboard. If you have suggestions or things you've done that work really well for Requestor dashboard, I'd love to hear about it, try them out myself, throw them in the comments, and definitely like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you.